Get those Cybermen out.
Welcome back, guys. Sam from the Cybermen here. Today, I just want to look at what may or may not be on the ban list. Things that probably could get hit, things that probably won't, but should. Just a few changes that I think might maybe happen. I really think the ban list is going to be small this set. I don't see anything really massive happening. But let's take a look. So I've spoken about this one before. Gohan. Reboot Gohan is a big issue, especially now that Best of One is kind of the standard format we're playing. I don't think but Gohan's going to get banned. Although I would love that. I would love if Gohan get banned. I just don't think leaders should be able to do as much as that does. But I do think that since Best of One is now like the official format right now, with the only official events happening, Bandai sanctioned events are online Best of One tournaments. They have to look into that as, something that's affecting the meta. I know Best of Three is what we always think about in terms of card power and things like that, but right now that is not the format. Best of One is the format. So I think that Feat Kamehameha will be banned. That is my call. I think of all this whole video, Feat Kamehameha is the most likely to be banned. I think there's a few reasons for that. It doesn't, fix Gohan. Gohan's still stupid, and it still is ridiculous, but it does make it more manageable. It forces Gohan to run Frieza, the red Frieza for critical, which is just a 5k, one cost, and it makes it much easier to out-combo. It's still super strong, and it keeps people who like Gohan happy, but I think the fact that no one uses Feat Kamehameha really in any other deck, people do use it for fun in some fun decks, but no one uses it, in like normal Goku decks, because one energy for a critical just isn't that worth it that much. So that might be banned, and another thing pointing towards that is the fact that they're reprinting that Frieza, because that Frieza is pretty hard to get. It's not that expensive, but it is hard to get. They're reprinting that Frieza in the Ultimate deck. So that, to me, just even, reinforces the fact that they probably will get rid of Feat. And they're saying, here you go, you can buy these decks to get the alternative. We'll see if that actually comes to pass. Another idea I thought of is maybe, since Best of One is such a big part of the game right now, maybe they need to think about a special ban list or a special legal list for Best of One format, where some things are not allowed in Best of One when they are in the normal game. I think that would be cool. Other games have lots of different formats other than their standard format, and that wouldn't be a massive change. It wouldn't be like, bringing in standard and expanded and rotation. It would just be, these few cards can't be played in Best of One. That would be cool to see, but I don't think that will happen. Alright, the next one I wanted to talk about is Vagax. Vagax is a big issue. It has been a problem for a while. It's definitely beatable, but it is probably the most consistent deck at the moment. It's won the most events. We've got things like the Gotenks deck that I play, but it's still not as consistent as Vagax. Vagax just wins a lot. And the only problem is there's more and more good black stuff coming out. Good Black Saiyan stuff coming out. And it just makes Vagax even stronger with every set. Now, I don't think they'll ban Vagax. Not at all. I also don't think they'll errata or do anything else to Vagax, but I feel like that's something that they should do. The reason I don't think they will is because Vagax and the other two starter decks, Vegito and Frieza, they were marketed as starter decks for the whole Unison Warrior arc, and that still has another two sets. So set 12 and 13 are still part of the Unison Warrior arc. So if they ban Vagax or they do something to Vagax, that starter deck is now dumped. And it doesn't make sense for it to be. I think the best way that they could fix this leader is just by making it burst 3. It'll solve the problems of, there's all these other cool Black Saiyan leaders, but no one plays them because they all burst 3 and Vagax burst 5. It's just better. You hit your free play targets much more often. The other option is to errata all the free play cards that say your deck, they only play if they played off your leader skill, if they've milled off your leader skill, or something that says your deck cannot be milled other than your leader skill. But that's stupid, I think. That's a bit ridiculous. I mean, that would mean Burst 5 would work, but you'd have to errata something else, making it really confusing. The other reason I think they won't hit it is because Shroom and Salsa coming out, this guy here, that really affects Vagax. You can mill Vagax out with this because you're getting rid of all the battle cards in their drop, meaning they might not be able to get Sparking 5. I don't think that's going to kill Vagax. Vagax is very aggro. You can kill your opponent before you get to no cards in deck. But that's just another option to counter it, and it means that there will be more of a counter towards Vagax with this deck. So that's kind of up in the air. What do you guys think about Vagax? I definitely don't like playing against it. It's not unbeatable, but it is very, very strong. And I just really think that this game at the moment has way too much free play. They're just bringing more and more free battle cards out that the game is becoming who can draw these free battle cards first. It's a bit of a pain in the ass. Alright, another card that I think is been an issue and people have complained a lot about is Dormant Potential. Dormant Potential Unleashed. It's a super strong counter. It's probably the strongest counter in the game right now, other than the SCR, but that's a one-of, of course. It feels like this card should be limited, in my opinion. Maybe, I play green mostly as my main these days, and even I think it's a bit dumb. When your opponent has all these things they want to do, and then, oops, you can't do anything else. It's not like Nimbus, where you can attack with leader, you can attack with unisons. It just stops you after one more attack, and it's free. You don't have to tap an energy for it. And I feel like that was a big mistake that Bandai made. Free counters and the free battle card counter plays. So I don't think it will get hit though, just because set's so new, it's an SR, it was expensive, people will be pretty upset. I feel like what could get hit instead is Master Roshi, the Kamehameha Origins, so that's the one that grabs your green extra cards from the drop area. I think that is a very good ban target. I feel like people won't be really upset by it. It does kind of break these extra cards that are really good because you can just keep recycling them every turn. Since you don't need to use energy for those extra cards, you can use that energy to get the extra card back to hand. The other thing is green has some of the best one-cost extra cards in the game. Cell's Kamehameha as another example, and even Feet Kamehameha. All these can be recurred with that Roshi, and I feel like if they ban that Roshi, it won't upset anybody, but it will help. So that's an option. I feel like Roshi could be banned. It's very likely. Another target. This is a out of left field target. I just feel like green is very strong right now, and I think the Demigra Unison is part of that because it's so hard to remove, and you can get it to two markers, turn one, and have all your freezer and everything live. That is probably not going to get hit, but it could because there's no other one-drop Unison cards that are that easy to keep on board. It's the only one. There's others that have other ways of defending them, like playing them back from the drop and things like that, but not keeping them at two markers like this one does. So that's just something to think about. I really don't think it will get banned, but you never know. The other and the final one that I think may get hit, or at least should get hit, probably won't, is the free play counterplays. All of them, just to be fair. I mean, Yamcha is pretty average. Vegeta, I think, is good. It's not broken. But Frieza and Trunks' God Sealing Technique, Charismatic Villain and God Sealing Technique are very, very oppressive cards. For 0 energy, you can completely shut down a turn of your opponent, similar to Dormant. It's just ways that we really don't like, things that we don't like about the game is just being able to shut down your opponent for no cost, other than dropping a card. God Sealing is probably on the more extreme side, but Frieza is also bad because it lends into the green and yellow successor play where you can go into Cell Zeno. So that's just something to think about. Again, I don't think they will get hit, but it's something that I think would help the game if they did. Maybe limited even. Limited to 2. We haven't seen any limited to 2 cards. That would help. And the final one, I just mentioned it, which I would love for it to get hit, but I don't think it will. It's Selzeno, the SCR. That card is dumb. In this whole game, for me, there isn't a card that is worse than Selzeno, a single card. It is a free win, almost. Literally free. You do not have to pay for this card. The fact that green has Frieza and all these other cards that you can get out for next to no resources mean you can get Selzeno out on turn 2. Turn 3, you're getting out a Quad Strike on turn 2, on turn 3. And then if you do wait to turn 5, you're also ripping cards from your opponent's hand. Quad Strike, Dual Attack. It's insane. No other SCR is that dumb. Like, that Sin Shenron SCR comes out really early and it's not broken. And that even takes longer than Selzeno. It's just insane, to be honest. I don't know what they were thinking when they were printing it. I suppose at the time it was harder to get out, but it just limits design, or it makes it so that it's going to get more and more broken over time. I don't know what to do about it, because I own that card. It's expensive. A lot of people own it, and it's a lot of money to buy. I didn't buy it when it was a lot of money. I got it in a box, but a lot of people did buy it when it was really expensive, and if they banned that, it would be a big uproar, I'm sure. So what do? Can you errata it so that you can only use multicolor cards as successor fodder? But then that would be terrible, wouldn't it? I mean, personally, I can't think of a way you can fix that card. Or you can't play it until you have 5 energy. Maybe that's probably a good idea, but it's still dumb. I just don't think it should be free. I feel like you should have to pay energy for it. No other SCR lets you do that. It's very, very stupid. Anyway, that is my list of cards that I think may get banned, should get banned, shouldn't get banned. Kind of a bit of a ramble from me. I thought I would write this down and just have a bit of a chat about it. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. I'm ready for everybody to tell me I'm crazy, because it happens every time I talk about ban lists. But I just think that ban lists shouldn't always be about things that are broken, but should be about things that kind of warp the meta and not, make the game less fun. Things like Gohan, things like Vagax. At locals, we have people that play Gohan and Vagax, and it just feels like, why do I come here and try and play other decks? You might as well just play that. And the same was happening for the webcam events. I mean, I tried playing Ginyu, which was really good. I came 6th, I went really well with it. But the fact that if I played Gohan or Vagax, I probably could have won. It's just like, I didn't want to do that. But, you can see that it's just, you'll do better with those decks. And I don't like that. I feel like we should see some variety. So I'm keen to see what they do. Thanks for watching, guys. We really appreciate your support. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Tell your friends. Share the video. Comment down below and I'll try to reply to everyone. We have now got a store on our website for all Australian residents. So jump on to www.thecybermen.com/shop and you can grab your pre-orders for set 12, pre-orders for set 13, and a bunch of other fun stuff, including custom mats and things like that. We'll be putting some merch up there as well at some point in the next month or so. So look out for that. Again, thanks for watching.